So, hello, and welcome to Truth You Can Wake Up To. I'm Samuel William, on the 2nd of May, 2012. So, this is an alert. An operation is going on in the next week or so by the British military to prepare, in air quotes, for a military invasion. Sorry, I mean to prepare to protect the Olympic Games. In the last days and weeks, we have been treated to lots of very colourful images informing us that various sites around the Olympic Stadium are going to be armed with missiles and snipers on helicopters and all this kind of stuff, getting ready for the Olympic Games. Very exciting, of course, all of this stuff if you like guns and killing. But if you're not a fan of guns and killing, it's a little bit annoying that the military are going to be involved with the public on their own soil. In fact, we've already been told that the military are going to be performing checkpoints, stops and searches of people going in and around the Olympic Village. Now, I've talked to a few people that are going to watch various events, and it's occurred to me some of the tickets are for 3 hours inside the Olympic Village. Now, think that over. Think the logic of that. 3 hours. You're only allowed 3 hours. How do they enforce that? Well, they're constantly checking your tickets. Show me your papers. Show me your papers. It is going to be like Nazi Germany inside that Olympic Village. Which sounds great. Of course, we've been hearing an awful lot about the security arrangements on the run-up to the Olympic Games. But the thing that is hidden away within the subtext of all of these news stories is that they're going to be performing a military training exercise on the run-up to the Olympic Games. It starts today on May the 2nd and runs until May the 10th. It's called, and brace yourself, strap yourself in for this one, it's called Operation Olympic Guardian. Does that ring any bells? Do you remember an operation called Vigilant Guardian that just happened to be going on the same day as 9/11? Do we remember that? Well, this is Olympic Guardian. And what are they going to be simulating during Olympic Guardian? Well, they're going to be simulating planes flying into the Olympic Stadium and Olympic Village. Isn't that great? Now, the military operation is going to take place starting in a place called Weymouth, which is not in London, but of course lots of places on the outskirts of London are going to have missiles and stuff. But the culmination of these events towards the 10th of May, probably the 8th, 9th, 10th of May, are going to be happening on the River Thames. Now, if I just read out a little quote from the press release for this happening, it says, and I quote, "The majority of this exercise will be played out in full view of the public, and I hope that it will have a secondary effect of reassuring the British people that everything possible is being done to ensure this will be a safe and secure Olympic and Paralympic Games." Well, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, I think that this will not reassure the public. This will scare the public. They're going to be seeing people with guns running around, pointing their guns at things, shouting, driving around in boats, helicopters pointing guns at people. I mean, come on, they're going to be doing a typhoon exercise, so military jets going high speed, low altitude at 10:30 at night over London. They're doing it for effect. They're doing it to go, hey, we're here. The army is in town. Don't worry, ma'am. You're safe. I've got a gun, and I may shoot anyone who isn't white. And actually, if you are white, I'm going to ask you who you are, and if you don't tell me, I'm going to fly my helicopter at you. I don't think that is reassuring behaviour. I mean, just look at this from part of the press release. This is armed policemen, or armed military, I think it's police, going in, breaking in to a Thames Clipper boat. Now, the Thames Clipper is a commuter boat. People use it to get from Waterloo Station up to Greenwich to go to work. So if the armed police or the army are going to be rushing onto these boats with their weapons drawn, and this actually has to happen during the Olympics because they're chasing some guy who has brown skin and they think he might be holding a wire, do you think someone might get shot? Do you think it's just possible that someone might get shot accidentally, or in air quotes, accidentally? Because it's not as if the police have a particularly good record with terrorism, i.e. stopping it from happening in the first place, and shooting people who they suspect to be terrorists or criminals that turn out to be not. Of course, they've boasted that the army that's going to be used, there's going to be just under 20,000 troops during the Olympic Games who are going to be guarding, in inverted commas, London. And these are guys they've been boasting have just spent a long time in Afghanistan and Iraq. Like, they're going to be helping the troops, the army. They take them at an early age. They teach them. They drum out of them the idea of not shooting. Of course, hesitation when you're on the battlefield is the thing that gets people killed. They've got itchy trigger fingers, these army. They've just been in Afghanistan and Iraq. And of course, what have they been doing out there? They've been killing people. They've been killing lots and lots of people. Now, if they're doing checkpoints around the Olympic Stadium and a car pulls up, and it's just some confused tourists, and they decide not to stop, they carry on down the road, we're going to have Flashback City. Sand in my eyes, Taliban disappearing in a truck, bang, 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 you're dead, you've just shot some Spanish tourists. This is the sort of thing that happens when the army are involved in their own country. So I'm actually going to be able to be out there on the 10th of May. I work in central London, so hopefully I'll get on the grapevine where these things are happening on the 8th and 9th, and I'll be able to go out there on the 10th, and of course I'll upload it straight away. So if you want to subscribe to find out how that went on, please do. We don't really know where this thing is going to happen on the 8th, 9th, 10th of May. What we do know is that at the beginning of June, we have the Diamond Jubilee, where the Queen is going to be on a boat, surrounded by other boats, on the river. And they just happen to be having a military exercise on the river to do with boats on the 10th of May. They say it's to do with the Olympics. Of course, if you look back at some of my other videos, especially the ones about Olympic symbolism, it insinuates that possibly something, some incident may happen on the 21st or the 22nd of May. Now, of course, if you look at the date of the 10th of May, when the training exercise is, you look at the date of the Queen's Diamond Jubilee, which is the 3rd of June, well, right in the middle is the 21st, 22nd of May, when the Olympic countdown clock is going to read 66 days to go. Now, of course, if something were to happen on that date, it would give the perfect excuse to roll out the military onto the streets for the Queen's Diamond Jubilee, to get people used to seeing the army mixing with the people on the run-up to the Olympics. That is my thesis. Leave a comment. Click Samuel Williamism. You can subscribe on my YouTube channel. Have a look at other stuff that I've got on there. But until next time, I've been Samuel William, and this has been Truth You Can Wake Up To.